this project and seeing those relationships and those friendships blossom. And I think that is really what you want in the workforce. You want to be able to, you want to mirror that. And so I'm creating that from here.
I love that, Christina. And you really hit a point that I've repeated so many times, that I firmly believe that the education system does segregate children.
Yeah.
And so those kind of the working in silos, the not getting used to other cultures, other types of thinking, that could be a real problem, and that carries with us into adulthood, into our careers. So I just think that being able to bring people all together from all sorts of life, all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of culture, and learn from each other, that's the greatest way we can move forward. And to learn that from a young age, I think is very, very, very important, because that cultural intelligence, if you don't develop it from such a young age, you're going to have a problem as an adult. And we see that all the time in Cayman. So,
and I think one of the reasons why I think it's so important too is that we have to get back to a place where we can disagree amicably.
Yes.
People have different views because people are coming from different perspectives. And so by the time they get to Module 2, what I am saying to them is, you have this objective and you have this deadline. It can be a business plan. It can be a dealing with a community issue, working with a charity. We had such a fantastic time working with Rotary and the Cayman Islands Cancer Society, who took our students on for volunteer hours, and then they wrote an essay on their experience and the history of the organization, because a big part of that Module 2 is also us imbuing in the students the importance of philanthropy and giving back. We are all here to help each other. That's why we're here. At least that's why I believe we're on this earth, is to help others. And so I think from a very early age, we want to show, we want you to succeed. We want you to be successful, but we want you to remember that you give back at all times. You pay it forward, you know? And so I think that showing those students that they can collectively make so much progress within that group setting, by the time they come out, they are like a club onto themselves. Forget what schools they're from. They don't even kind of like recognize that anymore. It's all about kind of being one group that achieves something fantastic. So that by the time they complete Module 2 and they are being placed in work experience, I am placing very, very professional students who have come through with training that I know that they can, I have no doubt in my mind they can get through a summer internship and turn out and be very, very proud. And the feedback that I'm getting from employers shows me that it's not just what we've written on paper. It's not just these sessions that we gave. It's not all of the guidance and all of the support, because there's a lot of people behind this program. Right? There's a committee of 12. There's so many firms in our industry. There's not just Maples, but there's KPMG, there's Carrie Olson, there's Auger, there's Cayman Islands Rugby Club, who I think do such fantastic work in the community with young people, because sports is just everything. Sports is just everything, and our young people love it so much. There's Health City, who really stepped up. Right? And to be honest, they were one of our biggest breakout sessions at Future Flex.
Right, because you said the healthcare industry is something that students are very interested in.
Incredibly so.
So I have a question. Are you, with a bit of the disconnect, so from what you've understood, experience with the students, the lack of confidence that they had, they're really not sure of their direction, what they want to do. Is this, from your understanding, is this due to perhaps not having those educational opportunities to help them go into these career areas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The answer is yes, like 10 times. And the thing that I think career masters, I think the thing that differentiates career masters is the mindset that we put these kids in from the very beginning. From the very beginning, you are told that you are going to succeed in this program. Right? So there is no other option when you're a career master student. You will succeed. Right? So I might have a young man come up to me and say, Miss Christina, I can't even stand up in front of my English class. I'm so scared. And I'm going to say, X, not only can you do this, but you are going to moderate a panel at that conference, and you are going to show yourself that you can do it. And then when they do, they come out and they go, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe that I did. I think I could do it again. It's all about, sometimes you have to do things scared. Sometimes you have to do things with all the support that we can give you. It is about growth.
And growth comes out of your comfort zone.
Out of your comfort zone.
And you have just helped create that confidence that they were
exactly
lacking, very much so. And when you feel that within yourself and you see that growth within yourself, especially in a team environment, you see how all of you are kind of growing together.
Yes.
Beautiful things can be accomplished.
Beautiful things can be accomplished. So when one of the things that I am most proud of at year one is that I know I turned out. So we figured with attrition, I had about 85 kids. Every single one of those 85 kids could walk in, I know, to a workplace or do a scholarship interview or an internship interview and nail it. I know they could because we put them through their paces again and again and again. And any self-doubt, we obliterated. There is no room for doubt of yourself. You must believe in yourself.
I like this too because mindset is so important. The more, and I've said this before on the show, we can talk ourselves out of things so much. I can't do it. I'm not worthy. I don't have the skills, whatever it is. And I had to learn this the very hard way. And it was me saying that exact same thing because I was trying to do my degree with like one hand, which was my left hand. And I just couldn't do the work. And it was just too much, like working full time, that one hand. And I just kept saying, oh, I can't do it. And then I just switched the words, the exact same energy I was using. I just started saying, I can. This will get done.
Yeah.
I have the intelligence. I have the knowledge. I have the ability. And my whole attitude shifted. Everything shifted and I got it done.
Yeah.
So the way we learn to speak to ourselves is so important. And if I could have learned that from a much younger age,
yes,
maybe I would be in a different place in my career now. Who knows? But it's saying that if these kids can learn it from a younger age that you're helping them to do, I think that's such a wonderful thing for the youth.
Yeah. And so when I say formula, this is not new. I've put it together in a unique way, but none of it's new. But what we are telling these kids constantly is that your mindset is everything.
Yeah.
A growth mindset is where you need to be if you're going to be in this program. And they get that very early on. They're sophisticated kids, And so I think that's what's led to the program's success is the fact that we built that in very early on. And so employers saw that. And so when I go back to my original thought of the barrier that young people are facing in terms of, and I had a very good conversation yesterday with another NPO that we're going to be partnering with in year two, the barrier for youth employment in Cayman. We can't solve all things, but I know one thing, this program certainly readies students to be able to walk in and successfully conduct an interview to the best of their ability.
I think over 85 students that have successfully gone through this program. I think that's a testament in your first year of how well you've done, how amazing the program is. We got to go to commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to get some more details, and then we got to wrap this segment.
Oh, fantastic.
Summer's heating up and the water's calling. From cruising the coast in your boat to riding Yamaha Wave Runners, Automotive Art Cayman will get you ready. We offer expert servicing by Yamaha certified staff as well as engine repairs, performance upgrades, engine and electrical installation, and more. Need it tuned, cleaned, repaired, or race ready? We'll keep you running smooth whether you're riding waves or racing them. Trust Automotive Art for expert service and upgrades. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto RKY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
All right, welcome back to The Buzz. We are chatting with Career Masters. I am your host, Kathy Miller, and we have Kelly Sage and we have Christina Bodden, and we are discussing all about Career Masters. Christina had given us the info on the formula that works, how the students go through this three-step kind of module. And she's had about 85 students that have gone through Career Masters in this past year.
Very proud.
And I know you have some developments with Career Masters, so if you want to share some of that.
So we have some new things coming in, and we've been talking to our stakeholders about having some flagship events that we would do every year. Future Flex was phenomenal. I mean, it was so cool, Kathy.
And what was Future Flex exactly?
So Future Flex was a career conference for high schoolers, but it was done as if it was an industry conference, right? So I did it exactly as you would have done, like any kind of industry conference you would do, like a contact summit or what have you. But all of the panels were led by our students.
I love that.
So the students were moderating professionals in terms of navigating workplace challenges or advice you would have given your 25-year-old self or, how to build confidence over time or all of these things they were talking about. And the students had to prepare their panels. They had to do their panel calls. They had to write their scripts. They had to prepare to do this, and they did a phenomenal job. And so all of the speakers during the day were our students, but the format of the conference was very much, we had some fantastic support. We had Cedra, we had Catalyst, we had PwC, we had KPMG, we had Maples as our platinum sponsor. Cayman Rugby Club had the best booth. I mean, just the coolest jerseys, all of their girls, because Mercedes Foy, who is our very, very good friend, is doing their girls rugby. And so that was there. That was fantastic. Carrie Olson was there. It was just a beautiful scene out in front of the lobby. And so the kids would come through and they would do that. But the actual conference itself was very much an adult industry conference in terms of professional workplace. But all of the speakers were our students, right? With the exception of a couple of maybe educational seminars we did. And the students loved being able to take charge and lead the conference. And so that was fantastic. We'll do it every June. We've got our Career Masters Futures Ball that's coming up in November.
Okay.
That's going to be our annual fundraiser. That's going to be a gala dinner that we're going to have, and we have a venue in mind that I think is going to be incredibly cool. And so details on that will be coming out soon. And something I wrote yesterday that I actually haven't even discussed with my committee yet is something called Career Masters Generation Cayman. And this is going to be an element of Career Masters that is for our alumni, because we don't want to lose our kids, right? So we graduate you, but we want to keep you, especially if you're not yet ready to go away to university or you're not going off to the UK or what have you. So it's a new network to connect Career Masters alumni as well as young professionals entering the workforce. So I want those kids that are coming back from university and entering the workforce, or those kids that are doing vocational training and entering the workforce, or just looking for their first jobs. And we will build a new segment of Career Masters around them, right? So think about almost the next generation, right? And we'll do education events. We'll do career coaching, right? Which my colleague Kelly Sage is fantastic, and she's just absolutely phenomenal. Social networking, which I truly believe in. Relationships are everything. Relationships. It's like location. Within professional workplace environments. And I think that the bringing together of the alumni with the young professionals, young people who just got their CPAs, or they're just doing their articles, or they've just started their apprenticeship in being an electrician, or they're, studying to be a pilot or whatever. I want all of those young kids in something together so that they are networking and we are exposing them to further opportunities to make sure those skills stay high. And so that's something that's going to be rolling out in year 2 that I'm very proud of.
That's some amazing progress.
Yeah.
So congrats on that. I think you've done incredible things in the first year. You have great plans with Career Masters going forward. What has been some of the feedback with the students that have completed the program with Career Masters and they have been placed or they received a scholarship and they came back to you and said, well, I mean, it's just been a year now, but what has that feedback been?
So the feedback that we have gotten, the feedback that I have asked students for is not so much, well, we're very data driven, right? We like our data because I want to know the impact that we are having on these kids. The only way to do it is statistics. And so we have been very focused on doing surveys on our teachers, you know, and to be honest, I can't do an interview and I haven't done an interview where I haven't thanked all of our designated teacher advocates at all the schools that we operate in because they really helped us so much. They gave us feedback on the program the entire year. Are we doing this right? Are we going well? What direction should we go in? What are you thinking about this? So they've been fantastic. But they also select the students for us so that we can ensure that we have some students who are very high achieving, but we have a middle band of student as well who just needs that potential pulled out of them. And then students who are just struggling in certain areas. I want that whole mix.
Okay.
Because I want osmosis.
So there's no application process per se for students?
So at the moment, we work with our teachers.
Okay.
Right? Now, let the years go by a little bit, and I think eventually we will always work with our teachers. But we will probably open to an application process where you just apply. But I like the idea that the teachers have such a bird's eye view of their student base that they can say, okay, so these are the students that we would really want to put in the program because we feel that they need help in these areas and we feel that they could really shine with that help. You're always going to have your high achievers and your high achievers are always going to be high achievers, right? But I love the idea that a student who's really struggling in some areas could form a friendship with somebody who's a really high achiever and those habits run off.
Yes.
You know, they rub off and those relationships, there's value in those relationships, especially at a teenage level. And so I think that that's something that I have found incredibly valuable in this. And so working with our teachers, we're able to get those layers and then mix them together. And I think that's something else that's very unique and that is very, very purposeful in this program. And that's something that I think in terms of measuring our success, we do that through the statistics and the data that we gather, but also the feedback of the students has been, I've wanted it to be much more reflective. What do you feel that you've accomplished through Career Masters? Well, I feel that I'm more confident. I feel that I'm a better speaker. I don't feel as afraid anymore in situations. I feel that I can go into a room and talk to someone and I don't feel so much self-doubt about myself or things like that. That is a mark of success for me because then I know that over the next course, the course of the next year, that person can walk into an employer's interview and be able to put their very best self forward, right? And it closes the margin between a yes and a no. Right?
How does Career Masters stand out from other maybe similar youth programs?
Number one, I get asked this a lot, all youth programs are good. All sports programs are good. All youth programs are good. Anything that is stimulating our young people in the right direction is good. Because I'm so aware, probably not as aware of as I should be, because I'm not, you know, I'm a mother of 2 boys. And so I know that there's so much pressure on social media. There's so much pressure to compare yourself to others. You know, I've watched my son go through the IB program at CIS, and I have to say I never had that kind of pressure when I was in high school.
What is the IB? Is it international business?
It's the International Baccalaureate.
Okay.
And to see the pressure, not only at that school, but the pressure that our students, even at, you know, like the pressure that our students at John Gray and Clifton Hunter, these kids operate at a very different level than we did when we were in high school. Like, I don't even think my parents looked at my report card.
Oh, mine definitely did.
You know, I just don't think they expected a lot of me when I think about it. You know, whereas now there's so much focus on performance, and there's so much focus on, you know, just kind of growing up very, very quickly, I think. And there's so many things pulling their attention apart in so many different directions. The thing that this program demands from its students is focus, right? You have to focus and you have to be present when you are in our seminars, which are constant, in-person workshops, in-person seminars, constant discussion, bringing in guest speakers, talking about resiliency. Why is grit important? Why is it that you should have the ability to get knocked down 10 times and still get back up? Why is that important? And why do you need that? I think the thing that sets Career Masters apart, and I said this earlier, was the mindset that we put into these kids from the very beginning. Because it doesn't make any sense to put them through a year-long program if their heads aren't in the right place. Right? And so it's the infusion of values. It's the infusion of how I expect them to treat each other. It's the infusion of how I expect them to view their community, right? And their place in it. How I expect them to approach an opportunity. And I always say, and Kelly has heard me say this many times, opportunities are things that you have to identify. There's not going to be hundreds of them in your life. There's going to be maybe 5 or 6 big opportunities that are going to come your way. And it is up to you to identify it, to take advantage of it, and to make the most of it. And so what I say to these students is, this program is to prepare you for when that opportunity comes. Don't let it pass you by.
I like that. Geez, Kelly, I hope I haven't missed any of those major 5 or 6 opportunities. I hope my eyes weren't closed and I was blind to it all.
Sure, I missed at least 4.
If you can, we got to wrap. So we have maybe about 30 seconds. If there's any contact information you can leave with people. Anything you want people to know before we got to go?
Well, if you are interested, or if you are a parent who's interested in having your student join us for year 2, please feel free to reach out to hello@career-masters.com. We are having our summer break and kind of reinvigorating ourselves for year 2. I think year 2 is going to be fantastic. We're adding 3 new schools.
Awesome. Congrats.
All right. And so we're talking to the Ministry of Education about that. I cannot finish this interview without thanking profusely the amazing support that we received, not only from our stakeholders, but from the Cayman Islands Ministry of Education and Training, the Cayman Islands Ministry for Social Development and Innovation, and Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, and the Ministry for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, as well as AMA Cayman, who was such a huge supporter of ours the first year. We had so much dialogue with the ministries. Like literally, we would be on the phone with the wonderful Ventisha Connolly, or we'd be on the phone with Satanya, and I'd be like, I'm going to do this, I'm thinking about this, and she'd be like, I love it, can we do this, and what about this, and have you thought about it? Was such a labor of love between us and the ministries, and I can't thank them enough, and I look forward to working with them in our year 2.
Awesome. I look forward to hearing all about how year 2 went as well for you guys.
Thank you.
And congrats on the success for year 1 with Career Masters. And thanks for joining me on The Buzz this morning. And Kelly, maybe next time I'll rope you in to join in the interview part as well, because I want to hear from you. I really do. I'm sure listeners did as well. Okay, but next time. We got you next time. Thanks, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
We're going to go to the slightly late 9 a.m. headline news. And then I'm going to be talking about the truth in advertising rules that have been proposed by OffReg.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The deadline is fast approaching if you're looking to get financial assistance for childcare this fall. ECAP provides financial help of up to $812 per month towards tuition fees at approved early childhood centers. If you need help filling out the application, you can head to the Government Administration Building today, now through 3 o'clock. The deadline to apply is July 31st, and for more information, you can head to moeapplications.gov.ky. In international news, a doctor in Gaza says Palestinians are, quote, not close to famine, they're living it, describing mass starvation across the region as, quote, disastrous. The United Nations has warned the amount of aid reaching Gaza is a, quote, trickle, saying the hunger crisis in Gaza has never been so dire. The Hamas-run health ministry says another 2 people have died of malnutrition in the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of such deaths to 113 since August 7th, 2023. This week, more than 100 international aid organizations warned of mass starvation in Gaza, blaming an Israeli, quote, siege. Israel says 150 food trucks were collected by the UN and other agencies inside Gaza on Wednesday, adding that another 800 are waiting collection. Aid workers say Israel is obstructing them from doing so. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
All right, welcome back to The Buzz. I am your host, Kathy Miller, and we got open line for this next 25 minutes or so. So if you'd like to give me a call, share what's on your mind, the numbers to call are 1-800-534-8255. That's Compliments of Flow. 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call or WhatsApp text us at 925-3261. Now we're going to be chatting a little bit about a topic that's going to affect every single one of us, that does already affect every single one of us, which is the truth in advertising rules that OffReg wants to put into place, or update, I should be saying. So how many times have you signed up for an unlimited data plan only to find out that it's not really unlimited? And how many times have you seen an ad promising 4G coverage island-wide, but when you get to East End or North Side, you're going back to crawling internet speeds? Even at home, you know, Georgetown, you might be saying you'll have an internet speed of whatever, and then you go to speedtest.net. Everybody go to that website, speedtest.net, and that will actually tell you how fast your connection is, your internet speed is. And I guarantee that what that speed test will show you is a lot less than what you've actually been promised by your utilities providers. So, something to think about. So, in saying that, have you ever felt played or misled by these utility companies? You're paying for fees that you don't understand what this fee is covering. If so, give me a call, because I would like to hear your experience and what your perspective is. So now, OffReg has released a draft determination for the truth in advertising rules, meaning they are almost done, but they're giving stakeholders one last chance to weigh in before the rules are made official. A draft determination is a regulator's way of saying, this is likely our decision, but we're not going to close the book on this just yet, and you get a chance to speak up and give your feedback and ideas and solutions before these rules become law. So the second public consultation is happening right now. So this is the second public consultation for the truth in advertising rules. It opened July 21st and it closes August 21st. So just 1 month of consultation. and represents a significant step towards protecting consumers from misleading advertising practices. It will further regulate marketing communications across electricity, fuel, ICT, and the water sectors in the Cayman Islands. Now, these are the industries that OffReg is responsible for regulating. So no other industries across the Cayman Islands are they responsible for regulating. And that's important because some people are going to ask, well, why can't these truth in advertising rules be applied to all industries? They're not in charge of regulating all industries, but there should be a standardized marketing communications regulation, period, across all industries in the Cayman Islands. Now, to continue, I'm going to paint you a picture of what's been happening. The current guidelines date back to 2002, which is over 20 years ago. Back then, we didn't even have social media advertising. We didn't have smartphones. I think BlackBerry was just maybe coming around. And maybe you had to be like super celebrity to have a BlackBerry back then. I don't know. But all I know is I had a Nokia flip or a Samsung flip phone and a Nokia one. And razors were the thing that were coming in those years. So we didn't have certain technology. And we didn't have companies using artificial intelligence to create marketing content. At least that was in 2002. So we have to change these truth in advertising laws to accommodate the technology that we have today. So OffReg has confirmed they are actively investigating current deceptive advertising practices. And that means companies are misleading consumers as we speak, and the current rules aren't strong enough to stop it. And we can also consider that a lot of this is happening in the digital realm. So when it comes to a lot of digital advertising, social media advertising. So what's changing? First, they're cracking down on the word unlimited. Companies will no longer be able to use that word unless their service is truly, genuinely unlimited. Not unlimited after a certain cap is reached. Or if you reach a certain cap, now all of a sudden it's not unlimited. That happened to me in my Spotify app today, to be honest. It was all of a sudden you've reached your unlimited minutes have been reached. And I was like, how is my unlimited listening minutes have been reached? That made no sense to me. So anyways, if a utilities company here says it's unlimited, it better be unlimited. I think we got a call coming in. Secondly, they're addressing geographic coverage. This is big for us here in Cayman. The telecom companies will have to inform you upfront which areas don't get their advertised services. No more finding out after you sign a contract that your new, quote, island-wide 4G service doesn't actually work where you live or work. Third, they're bringing advertising rules into the digital age. The new rules specifically cover social media advertising, text message marketing, pay-per-click ads, and even content created by artificial intelligence. Companies can't hide behind technology. If their AI creates a misleading ad, they're still responsible, as they should be. All right, we do have a call, so good morning. Thanks for calling The Buzz.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Okay, and you?
I'm good, thank you. What's on your mind? Have you been misled before by false advertising?
Well, I'd just like to say, when it comes to our Premier, Mr. Honorable Mr. Andre Ebanks, I'd just like to warn any company in the Cayman Islands that think that they can do as they please and as long as they want to. As long as the Honorable Mr. Andre Ebanks is the Premier of the Cayman Islands, he will put a stop to them and any wrongdoings that they may be doing that is against the law of the Cayman Islands. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. Well, I certainly hope that as premier that he doesn't, ensure that the laws are enforced. And if they are breached, that the punishment for those breaches are upheld. So I just mentioned those 3 major changes, which is the crackdown on the word unlimited, addressing the geographic coverage, and bringing the advertising rules into the digital age, because the current rules do not cover social media advertising, text message marketing, pay-per-click ads, or content created by AI. So those are 3 of the major changes that are part of their truth in advertising rules. And I'm going to tell you about the first consultation, which happened back in 2019. Now, 2019, so if my math is right, that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, guys. So this is my issue right now. 2019 was the first consult. 2025, the summer, is the second consult. And now we have 1 month to respond to all this. And the other issue I have is there was only 5 responses to the first consultation. So when we're talking about stakeholders being consulted, there's a lot more than 5 stakeholders. And there's also professional bodies on island that represent marketing communications that weren't involved in such a stakeholder that has to do with amendments to truth in advertising rules. So those are 2 big things that I've noticed that maybe perhaps didn't or are questionable in this process. However, we're going to hear about those responses, the 5 responses that came from the first consultation, and how those responses were treated and applied to for this current set of the draft determination of the truth in advertising rules that OffReg has currently proposed. We're going to go to a commercial break right now, but when we come back, we will get into what those responses were.
Cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gliptone detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
All right, welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and I am talking about the truth in advertising rules, the draft determination that OffReg has put out for its second public consultation, which is happening now, and it closes on August 21st. You can go to www.offreg.ky. That's OFREG.ky. So the first consultation, which happened back in 2019, as mentioned, there were only 5 responses to this consultation, mainly the utilities companies providing the services. The responses came from Flow, Logic, Water Authority, Digicel, and a private citizen. Wait, is it Water Authority? I think it is Water Authority. I hope I don't have that wrong. Okay. So Flow raised concerns about the old definition of marketing communications. They questioned the rules surrounding, quote, fairness, and they sought clarification in relation to, quote, material information, which is whether OffReg holds the position that a consumer's right to cancel his, her, or its contract to be optional. OffReg responded and held firm. They believe fairness is essential to protect consumers who don't have complete information when making decisions, and confirmed, quote, the term of a contract may include a right of cancellation. They also confirmed updating the definition of marketing communications to include the digital landscape. The Water Authority made an interesting point. They said that these rules and regulations should apply to all businesses and industries in Cayman, not just utilities. And I agree. I agree with that point. However, remember that OffReg only covers those 5 industries, as mentioned earlier. So, Water Authority argued that having advertising rules for only 4 sectors creates the perception that these sectors have particular problems with deceptive advertising. And they do not. Almost every single business sector in Cayman has problems with misleading and false advertising. I have been in marketing comms for over 20 years, almost 25 years, and it's happening. I see it happening all the time. The most telling response came from a resident now who laid out specific examples. They talked about the telecom companies advertising 4G service without mentioning that East End, North Side, and the sister islands don't get that service. They raised concerns about CUC charging all customers for renewable energy programs, even customers who don't have solar panels. Again, remember, this is a response from 2019, so if things have changed or been upgraded, this was what was reported in 2019. So an interesting twist also is that the same concerned citizen also raised concerns about job advertising practices in the telecom sector. They argued that companies are posting misleading job ads designed for chosen expatriates rather than genuinely offering opportunities to qualified Caymanians. I agree with that. I think we see that a lot of the time, job adverts, not just in the telecoms industry, but in all of the industries, being tailored to suit a certain individual that they already have in mind that they're trying to hire. The enforcement powers OffReg is giving itself are significant. They can impose administrative fines, issue cease and desist orders, demand consumer compensation, and even refer cases for criminal prosecution. They'll also publish the names of companies that violate the rules on their website. So here's where we stand. We have utilities that have been operating under rules from 2002. There are confirmed cases of deceptive advertising being investigated right now. And we have new rules that could finally bring accountability and transparency to how these companies market to us. The question is whether these rules go far enough or maybe they go too far. And that's what I want to hear from you this morning. So you got a couple minutes if you want to call in and let me know. Have you ever been misled by utility company advertising? Tell me your story. Do you think the unlimited crackdown is necessary, or should buyers beware and just kind of figure it out on their own? I had some nods from the studio that yes, they agree that the unlimited word should definitely be cracked down on. So, should these rules apply to all businesses, not just utilities? My opinion is absolutely. But again, OffReg is only responsible for regulating the sectors that I'd mentioned earlier. So you got your fuel, ICT, and the telecoms. Okay. And there was another one there, but I can't remember. It's up in my notes. So the consultation, again, is open until August 21st. You can submit your feedback to consultations@offreg.ky. That's OFREG.ky. It's your chance to influence rules that will govern how these companies can market to you for years to come. You can find the consultation paper at offreg.ky. Just go under the consultations tab. You'll see it there. And again, if you want to let me know what you think about this, give me a call. Share your experience. Because at the end of the day, if we aren't sharing these stories about what has happened to us and what we've gone through, what contracts we've signed, what service we did not get that we were promised, we wouldn't know that the next person or somebody we work with or a friend or family member is also getting basically duped or played on, you know? Being able to share these stories with each other makes us understand, okay, we're not alone in this. This is happening to more than one consumer. It's happening to a bunch. They're definitely trying or taking advantage of us or not providing us a service that we agreed to pay for. We're not getting the fullness of that service. And that's a problem. So this is about whether you can trust what companies tell you when they're trying to get your business. And trust is a huge factor. It takes years to build trust, and it takes a moment to destroy it. In a small market like Cayman, trust matters more than anywhere else. I've had my own experiences, and call me Queen Petty, but if I've gone into an establishment and they have done something to completely break my trust or my belief in that establishment, and they haven't been accountable and tried to address it and take care of it, I will never return to that establishment again. Ever again. So trust matters. I'm going to go somewhere and give my contracts, give my hard-earned money to a provider that I know is 100% behind their promise. So the Truth in Advertising Rules, the draft determination, it's open now. The consultation period is open now, and you can give your feedback. This should be anybody in any business, anybody affected by any of these utilities companies. So if you buy gas, if you get water to your house, and we all do, if you have a cell phone, very likely you do, your CUC, I'm sure most of us have our CUCs who's providing our power, you are being affected. You are a stakeholder. You, a private citizen of the Cayman Islands, a resident of the Cayman Islands, you are able to join this consult and to give your feedback and help impact how these laws are shaped going forward. You have until August 21st to submit your feedback. And that is about it from me. I might end the show a couple minutes early because y'all didn't want to share your stories about being misled or duped by one of these utilities companies. So what can I say? What can I say? I'm going to end it there. You know, sometimes I go over. Right now I'm going to give you like 4 minutes less of me. It's Friday Eve. I'm going to give you a little quicker beginning besides me, the rest of the beginning of your day on a Thursday. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to join us on Talk Today a little later for some more talk, but enjoy all the music because I know Bass has got some great music lined up for you right now. Yeah, she always calms me down after I come off the show. So I love it. So I'm going to give you some great tunes. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll be back with you next week.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman, your car, our passion.